But just a few hours from now, Congress will officially certify the results of the 2024 election. And presiding in her role as Vice President Harris, she's going to have to do it.
So she has a unique role today, and not the first VP to certify her own loss. Mike Pence, Al Gore, Richard Nixon all did the same thing in their jobs.
Yep. And meanwhile, their speaker is in place. Republicans are turning their attention to Trump's day one agenda. So priorities include securing the border, stopping illegal immigration, restoring law and order, and boosting national security to start.
Yeah, the president-elect wants all this included in one massive bill. Speaker Mike Johnson on Sunday telling Maria that Republicans are locked in on it.
Beginning immediately, we want to make sure that we're jump-starting the agenda now over the next 2 weeks so that he's prepared and ready on day one.
Let's bring in Kayleigh McEnany. She is with us, and Happy New Year to you. Great to have you here. This was interesting to us. We woke up and Susie Wiles, the incoming chief of staff for President Trump, had done an interview with Axios, and she says this about the first 100 days. I have every hope that the 47th administration will not have the same number of attempts to put sand in the gears. We are off to a fast start with congressional work, hiring the best people, preliminary discussion with heads of state, fine-tuning his policy agenda, and planning for the first 100 days. And hitting the ground running and realizing that you don't have as much time as you think that you do is really important here.
I think she realizes that. Look, she was instrumental in that floor vote to make Mike Johnson House Speaker. We remember the screenshot of Marjorie Taylor Greene's cell phone where you saw Susie Wiles on there. So she was making calls to members of Congress to get Mike Johnson across the finish line. It also stands out to me, Donald Trump Jr. recently said in an interview, I think we're more ready this time than if we would have had a second term consecutively. Yeah. You think about what President Trump has done over the last 4 years. He's had time to sit back, think about his policy agenda, think about his personnel, and be ready to go.
I think this whole comment about sand in the gears is very true for January, February, March of 2017, and later you were on his team as well. I thought by the way, Susie Wiles, I don't think she has done an interview during this entire campaign. This was the first one. Well, one of the comments she said is that if she disagrees with Trump, she tells him one-on-one. That way she can make sure there are no leaks.
Yeah,
Or maybe there could be a leak from one individual.
That is very important, because if we remember 2017, the Trump administration was riddled with leaks. You couldn't go into an Oval Office meeting without part of it being on the front page of the Washington Post or the New York Times. That has changed. This is a very tight operation. His team was very small in the campaign. It was not riddled with leaks in the same way as the beginning of his administration. And Susie Wiles, I think that's fantastic. A lot of people say, oh, Trump, he doesn't listen to people. He does, but he does in that setting, one-on-one, hashing things out. He takes in what you tell him, and then he makes the decision. So I think this is someone who knows him well, has spent the last 4 years getting to know him well, and knows how he operates and is ready to fold into that operation.
So there's a big decision over the weekend about going forward on legislation. And it's a little in the weeds for people about doing one reconciliation bill or two reconciliation bills. President Trump has settled on one. And let's just listen to Mike Johnson about how that'll go.
That's the benefit of doing it all together, because no one's going to love every element of a large package like that. But there'll be enough elements in there to pull everyone along. They'll be able to justify not getting all of their preferences on some of their big issues, because there'll be so many other very important pieces to that one piece of legislation.
Just for folks at home who are paying attention, they don't need to know all the ins and outs of reconciliation, but why does it matter to try to do one instead of two?
So according to reporting, Stephen Miller and much of the staff were pushing for this two-track, and Thune as well, of course, Senate Majority Leader. They wanted immigration first to make it easier, get that across the finish line, and then deal with the more complicated tax policy down the line. President Trump likes to go bold. He wants it all in one. I think he wants to be able to say this is the most impactful piece of legislation in American history. I think it's smart, because this is an economy that's kind of sputtering despite what all the economic metrics say. So why not get no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, the working man's economic agenda, make that priority number one with immigration. The good thing for Mike Johnson, he says he wants this done by April. The special elections in Florida's 1st and 6th district happen just before that.
Oh, smart.
So they might have that 3-vote margin instead of the 1 vote.
Look at Kayleigh. She's telling stuff right away.
I love it when someone makes me go,
Yeah.
I'm a Floridian.
Value added. Johnson also said the smallest margin in U.S. history for the first 100 days. But we're going to get it done. We'll see how they do. It's going to be a big part of this. Meanwhile, the outgoing president, Joe Biden, had some pointed comments. Roll this.
only thing, my being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life. And I know them, and I know how they think. Not a joke.
I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of...
He's talking to like 30-year-old men
reporters.
And women. Yeah.
Right, and also you think about all the foreign leaders making their way to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, the person coming in, President Trump, clearly knows a lot. But look, his knee-jerk seems to be a certain level of aggression. We saw this after his remarks on the legacy of Carter. He made that kind of slight at President Trump, saying decency, decency, decency. It's really kind of striking because if you remember week 6 of his term, he met with historians in the East Room talking about wanting to be FDR, and he's leaving in a very different light. His staff still says to the Washington Post, history will remember him kindly. I think that's very much up for debate.
Senator Chuck Schumer did an interview, and he was asked about something that I think a lot of people are wondering, where are we going to get some answers about what people knew about Joe Biden's mental capacities? Here's what Chuck Schumer said.
What do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
No. Look, we didn't. And let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. He's a great guy. And when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Kayleigh, last word.
I mean, that's one of the big shames is we won't find out really what happened with the Biden mental acuity. There will be books written, I'm sure, but there was a lot there. There was a cover-up. Reporters knew. Olivia Nuzzi said reporters were debating how frail, and I'm being kind in using that word. The president looked after a meeting with him early in his term. They lengthened or lightened his schedule. This is a big cover-up, and we'll never know the depths of it.
The kind of question that probably deserves a follow-up. Maybe we'll get our chance. Right. Kayleigh, nice to see you.
Yes, I hope so.
Happy New Year, and thanks for being here.
Happy New Year.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.